Tamara, you're chasing the ongoing story, and what is turning into fear is turning to panic for some folks regarding Ebola. And specifically, our airports in our region are going to start screening passengers from certain areas beginning this week. What do you got?
NBC's chief medical correspondent, Dr. Nancy Snyderman, violated her voluntary quarantine when she left her home to go get a sandwich at a cute little spot in Hopewell, New Jersey. Well, some are saying that her apology is really dodging responsibility and actually throwing her crew under the bus instead of just manning up to this. In her statement, she said, well, under voluntary quarantine guidelines, which called for our team to avoid public contact for 21 days, members of our group violated those guidelines and understand that our quarantine is now mandatory until 21 days have passed. So I chased this to Hopewell, to Peasant Grill, because residents are outraged at this. I tried to speak with the owner of the Peasant Grill. I went up to the door and they said no, they weren't giving any comment. So I walked around this town. It's really cute, it's historic, and I spoke with Rosemary Farr, who was walking her dog.
It's just so narcissistic and egotistical to put your own little wants, and it's not even it's something necessary. It's her desire for a sandwich over public health from someone who's actually in Liberia and has seen what this disease can do.
I then went down the street to the restaurant right next to Peasant Grill, and I spoke with a man sitting on the steps outside. His wife runs this restaurant.
Well, she don't come here, so we have no contact with her, so I'm comfortable.
You're comfortable?
Yeah.
Now, Dr. Snyderman was voluntarily quarantined before this sandwich incident. Well, now she's under mandatory quarantine until October 22nd. This is all a part of the growing concern about a possible Ebola outbreak here in the U.S. So I went to the Princeton Health Department and spoke with Jeffrey Grosser and asked him, should people be concerned?
Regarding the alleged incident, no, the public should not be concerned. The NBC crew continues to be asymptomatic, which means they are not contagious. The Princeton Health Department, and specifically our public health nurse, check their symptoms and temperatures twice daily, and will continue to do so for the extension of their incubation period.
Several U.S. airports have already stepped up screening of passengers coming into JFK Airport. Well, now on Thursday, they're going to step up efforts at Newark as well.
I think that the owners of the Peasant Grill in Hopewell, of course, they don't want to give an interview because this publicity isn't good for them. I will be there tomorrow for lunch because I want to, stand up for common sense and calming on things like this because I think it's gotten a little bit out of control. Having said that, why are we screening at the airports when there's a 21-day period that this might not even show symptoms? What good is that? Why are we not stopping the flights?
If you go back to Dr. Snyderman's apology, she didn't apologize. If you look at her statement, she basically said, I'm sorry all of you overreacted. I'm a doctor. I'm smarter than you. I knew that I wasn't sick. And my problem with her whole handling of this is if you want society to respect the doctors, she has to also, and she basically ignored them.
I'm not defending what Dr. Snyderman did. Obviously, if she gave her own voluntary quarantine, she should have stuck by it. But at the same time, she is a doctor, and the flu kills thousands of people every year. It doesn't get attention. Ebola is a huge problem in West Africa, but that's not the United States. They don't have as strong government or as strong a health system as we do. So pump the brakes on the hysteria.